Hello, Tumblr. This is Paula here, and I just want you to know a few things about me before I start my rants and raves. I am very old. I won't tell you how old. You won't believe it. All I do all day is I am a landlady at a big building, and I have many tenants. I just smoke and drink coffee all day in my apartment. But if my tenants need something, I just pretend I'm not home. Because they bastards, those Mexican bastards don't care anyway. Anyhow. So I wanted to just talk to you about the news. The news today. Big. It's big. There's a giant elephant on the cover. But anyway, I recently had a tenant who had owed me a shitload of rent, and she recently passed away about a month ago. She owed me 7 months of rent. I was trying to evict her crazy ass, but no. Oh, I have lung cancer. I'm strapped to a machine. I have chemo. I can't pay my rent. Who cares? Who cares? You know what? Get the fuck out if you can't pay your rent. I don't give a fuck. No. I'm a good Catholic. Been ever since the crucifixion. Ever since. I've been a great Catholic. So I said, no. Paula, you gotta think about heaven. Paula, you gotta think about heaven. Are you gonna get in? You know how you get in? You let the crazy sick bitch live in your apartment. Now, her name was Irene, and I told that bitch before she died, I was like, you crazy fucking bitch, you owe me so much money. You better be kind to me. And what next? She becomes a fucking hurricane. God makes her a hurricane, and she ruins half of my property in the back. I have this beautiful forest, and by forest I mean 2 trees and a patch of grass. Ruins it. Winds, stuff flying, people complaining, it's all her fault. I knew she was trouble from the moment I rented her that apartment. And I told her, Irene, you can't be throwing no loud chemo parties up there. And what does she do? She has all her support group. It's a support group, Paula. People in pain. You know who's in pain? I'm in pain. I'm losing 7 months of rent. Because you can't get your lazy ass up and get a job. Don't understand. So you know what I'm going to do? I went to her funeral, and I punched her grandson in the nuts. Just right there. Just pow! Right in the nuts. And I said to him, Hubert, I've known you since you were this little. And that's not very tiny. That's not very long at all, because he's only this tall now. I've known you since you were this little. You owe me 7 months worth of rent. 7 months. 7 months, that's $14,000. That's what I said to him, but the rent wasn't that high. It wasn't $2,000 a month. But that's what I said to him, and then I got it. But don't tell people, because I could get in trouble with the law. So she died. Good riddance, I said. Good riddance to that. The Mexican Irene. Who in their goddamn Mexican head names their child Irene? And then you got these people in these, I visited this place in the news, and it's so horrible. So horrible. 27 people died in Mexico the other day. You know from what? Mexican violence. Now, if any Mexicans are listening to me, listen to me. You could beat up the blacks, you could beat up the whites, you could beat up the Negroes, you could beat up the whitey, the gringos, Guatemalans, Colombians, El Salvadorians, Chinese, Chilean, Spaniards. But don't beat up your own people. That's crazy. If you want people to beat up Mexicans, just come to America and we'll beat you up for you. That way you're not beating up your own kind. Okay? Well, Tumblr, this is Paula signing off from you. And I'll be sure to make more videos as if you wish to hear my ranting and ravings about Hurricane Irene, who was formerly a tenant of mine. Oh, and if you want me to tell you about former tenants of mine, I run a really big building across the street from a park. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say the name. And one of my tenants, one of my friend's favorite tenants, John, was walking out the street one day. Some crazy guy just comes up and shoots him. And there was crying in the streets. There was massacre. Apparently he was famous. I didn't know. He was just John to me. He was famous. And all his fans came out. And they did a candlelight vigil on my fucking building. And I said, God damn it, can you clean up the goddamn wax? Can you clean it up at least? John would have liked his property kept clean from wax. His wife's like, oh, my husband just died. I can't pay that rent. I can't pay that rent. I can't pay. Well, if he's so famous and he has so many fans, why don't you get his fans to give you $1 each? And then maybe you can make up the rent. Oh, I have a baby. I can't. Because of the baby. Well, maybe you shouldn't have opened up your legs if you couldn't pay your rent. And that's all I'm saying. But I'm a good Catholic. Ever since Constantine converted to Christianity, I said I'd be a Catholic too. So I let it go. But anyway, that's a little rant and rave about my building. And, yeah. So thank you, Tumblr, for listening to good old Paula.